Megyn Kelly's on with Bill O'Reilly. They're going to talk about the shooting in Texas involving Pamela Geller's group. Two Muslim radicals tried to shoot up the place. They were immediately shot by a traffic cop and killed. Bumbling clowns, unsurprising, of course, idiots trying to commit violence here. Now, the distinction between O'Reilly and Megyn Kelly is interesting. Bill O'Reilly saying that Pamela Geller's group shouldn't have provoked those guys. Megyn Kelly gets pretty angry about that. I'll tell you which side I'm on after we watch this.
So whether you agree with what they said or you don't, on the cartoons of the Prophet Mohammad, they had the right to hold that seminar and to question that right.
But it's always cause and effect.
Misunderstands the First Amendment.
It's always cause and effect, okay? And because I did it, the two jihadis are dead. Now I know a lot of people aren't feeling sorry for them, and I'm certainly not either, because they were trying to kill other people. However, all right, this is what happens when you light the fuse. You get violence.
Now, but you sound like you are defending.
No, I'm not.
You are attacking the event itself.
I would do it another way. I agree with your point that we shouldn't let these people intimidate us.
You know what else the jihadis don't like? They hate Jews. Well, should we get rid of all Jews?
Well, that's what Ms. Geller, I think, is coming from.
Well, that's the path we're going to go down if we start catering to the jihadis. There's no satisfying them. There's no making them happy. You can't not do things because the jihadis are going to be upset.
I agree, but it's the way you do it.
Yeah, so Megyn Kelly loses me when she says, well, should we get rid of the Jews to make the jihadis happy? Well, look, Pamela Geller isn't just talking about jihadis. If she was, we would all agree with her. Everybody's against the jihadis. Everybody's against radical Muslims who commit acts of violence. That's easy. That's a no-brainer, right? Pamela Geller extends that to pretty much all Muslims who she calls savages and evil. And Bill O'Reilly, I think, is partly referencing that when he says, well, that's the direction Pamela Geller is going when talking about getting rid of a certain class of people, right? Pamela Geller thinks that America is being Islamicized, which is preposterous on its face, but she thinks the Muslims are taking over and we need to counterattack, okay? As if America has not counterattacked against the Middle East enough, okay? So on that portion, I agree with Bill O'Reilly, but overall, I'm going to score it for Megyn Kelly. I think Megyn Kelly's right. I think that you can't blame the people who were speaking out, even if you totally disagree with their speech. Under no circumstances should speech lead to violence. So they can get in Muslims' face all they want. They could be as hateful as they want. This is a free country. And so, a lot of people have been saying this. I'm not the first to say it, but it's true. The First Amendment is not for polite speech that is wonderful and lovely and that everybody enjoys. That doesn't need protection. First Amendment is for speech that might be offensive, and it might be political, it might be religious, it might be otherwise. So that has to be protected. It is protected by the United States government. And so we cannot brook any violence against speech. So the guys who did the attack are 100% wrong. Their attack doesn't make the Pamela Geller group any more correct, okay? But they also don't lose any rights as Americans to be as wrong as they like. So, no, Megyn Kelly's right. There's no justification for that attack. You can't say, oh, well, they should have said it in a different way. They shouldn't have poked him in the eye. They shouldn't have done this. If Geller's group had done any act of violence, that's a different story because then violence begets violence. But they didn't. Yes, they celebrate American bombings and invasions of Muslim countries, and they push that policy. Yes, that is deeply problematic. But you fight ideas with ideas. You don't fight them with violence. So overall, I scored for Megyn Kelly.